Right guys, we're going to the killing fields today, so as a pre-warning and stuff, I would say that it's going to be pretty gruesome. It's going to be a lot of gory detail. I'm going to go into detail. I've done some research on it, and this bastard's coming over. They all want to be in the film today, but no, I'm just going to literally just go in there. There's going to be some gory details, so I'll just say skip ahead if you don't like to hear about it. So chat to you guys in a minute. Herbert the pervert over there. Moving slowly out. Just arrived at the killing fields, just about to go in a minute. It's quite a bad story with Cambodia because in the past, it's basically after 1975, 1979, and what it was the government basically overtook and had a regime where it was like everyone's got to be equal, you can't have like links to the outside world, you know, like, and they had like a weird system, it's like a two-strike system, and once you got that, they said you go for a reformation, which is basically like a guaranteed death. And it's like a prison where they basically torture you to death. It's a horrible, horrible history. You know, like something like 25% of the population, like 1.7 million people died in the 4 years. It killed 25% of the population in that amount of time. Tree behind it, there's a bamboo tree, and they just have used the hard ridges of the bamboo stakes to slit people's throats and kill them that way, just so they're quiet. And the field behind is where they've done all the executions. Just shocking, you know, like all just because of one man's regime. Really, you know, you think like people getting killed, like the whole family's been brought here just to be murdered, and you know, basically it's just an area just for that. It's just terrible. It's just walking around just listening, and it wasn't even 1.7 million, it was 3 million people, and something like, it was 25% of the population, so I don't know if he affected people that are outside of the country, but it's just all just because he wanted his own regime to come in place. And like, you know, saying like they used to blast music, like the communist music, during the day, but they only played it at night just to cover up all the people screaming from the deaths and stuff. And it's just brutal, you know, how evil someone can be, you know. It's horrible to think like a whole country was thrown under this brush, was put through this. One of the worst crimes that have ever happened in humanity. Just listening to the audio bit for that bit, and one of the worst things about this regime is that they never used bullets because they're expensive, and so they didn't even kill people in a quick and painless way. They'd hack them to death with tools, shovels, pickaxes, knives, machetes, and you know, so it wasn't just a place where you got executed, it was a place where they basically tortured you to death. This is a particularly horrible one. It's the grave hearers for women and young children. The tree behind me was used to bash kids' heads basically over the tree to kill them, like little babies. You know, usually when one member of a family is killed in this country, the whole family is killed. Was still recognised as a leader, I think, for another 10 years or so after his regime. America and all the Western countries still believe he's in charge and still got funding, so they thought he was part of the UN and thought he was still a leader. He eventually died, something like when he was 75. Poisoning was suspected. Just horrific. Standing in front of something like this and knowing what happened here, just awful. Arrived at S21 prison, and this prison was where people were tortured, and basically anyone who was going against the regime was brought here to be, there's a word for it, it's like restructured or something. I don't know what, there's a word, but it's a horrible, horrible place, and I've got a feeling might be even worse than the killing fields, because people really suffered here from what I know. So we're going to go on the tour, listen to some facts, and get a good idea of what horrible things happened here. Just walking around, and just terrible the things that are going on here. Just like, you know, basically one of the prison cells here, one of the prisoners was a mechanic, and he was in a cell and said like it beat him so much he couldn't sleep on his back, and you know, just the amount of people's faces you see in those pictures are all just people that have died, and it just, but then at the same time you can understand why no one knew about it. It's because it was just so covered up. You know, you think like, how are you going to know where this is going on? I got it wrong in the beginning. This was a school, it wasn't a prison before. And to think, you know, they turned a school into something as horrible as this, it's just, something unbelievable, and you know, used it for things like this, and you know, where it gets to people to the point where they just want to end their lives because, you know, I couldn't imagine anything worse than being detained somewhere like here. Alright guys, gone through all the tour and been a very fascinating day today. I mean, a very sad day, but a very fascinating one. I mean, you feel so tired after it, so much to take in, and I didn't know it was to the extent it was. I knew something like a quarter of the people died, but I didn't know they died in such a bad way. And I didn't know, like, basically they just overruled this country and just obliterated it for what it was. They emptied the cities and made people move out and farm, and that's basically what his ideology was. So it's just like, just terrible really. You know, you think like, how can you do this to a population, and the amount of damage that he done. He blew up banks, he got rid of the money, got rid of cars, got rid of technology, there's factories abandoned. It was, his ideology was, that Pol Pot is his name, and his ideology was to just turn the country into big farming country, and anyone who wanted to go against anyone who's an intellect or anything like that was seen as an enemy. It's just crazy. So I'm gonna head back, get back in the tuk-tuk in a minute. It's been a good day, I've enjoyed it, so I'll chat to you guys in a minute. Right guys, I'm now on a bus the following day. Totally forgot to do an outro. Yesterday was a long day, but a good one. Very depressing day, but well worth it. Basically done the best things you could think of here. But really learned a lot about Cambodian history, which is really nice. And basically the whole video is a depressing video, so I do apologise if it ruined your day. But at the same time, you know, these things happened, and it's nice to show that and see it. You know, you got to respect that at the same time. So today, in the next video, I'm going to be going to Kampot. We decided to leave. There's not much else to do here. You've got the palace and stuff, but you know, I want to spare some more days to go to the next places. So I'm going to save that for then. So I'll chat to you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care, guys. Bye now. Fuck it, I'm going to just go into the water. Leave your legs up.
Come on, Jake.
Woo! Legs up. Yes, upside down. Oh.